Does gear drop change after 70 plus? Yeah, a lot of people watch this video. I personally have a belief. The problem with power scaling is at levels. So this is a problem Blizzard created when they nerfed Paragon. So what happened, right? At level 70, and this is I'm bringing this up because somebody in chat asked. At level 70, that's the best gear in the game. Like at level 70, chat, you can literally drop the best gear in the entire game. Throughout 1 to 70, gear gets better and better and better and better and better. At level 70, it stops. Why does it stop? Because you hit the item power cap. The item power cap is 820. So let's say, for example, you're level 65 and you have item level 700 gear. You might be thinking, oh, I wonder how high this goes. Not much higher. It stops at 820. That's like the limit. And so at level 70, when you unlock Ancestral World Tier 4 gear, that's it. That's you can itemize, but you can't literally get higher rolls. You can't get like more damage per second. You can't get more life. Like you hit the maximum life rolls, etc., etc., etc. And so when you go from 70 to 100, you are itemizing. You're not actually getting better rolls. You're just getting better itemization. So a lot of people watch this is a recent YouTube video, the problem with power scaling, and a lot of people were missing a lot of points that this was making. I'm a firm believer, maybe this is my ego talking, but I'm a firm believer. No, it's not even ego, it's just facts. We play the game so much, so fast, that we identify issues that people don't know about until they play the game for a while. I bet you in like maybe a week and a half, people will have these problems. And they'll probably be posts about it and shit. Now, what this means is, you have two options for getting better. You have the Paragon plus glyphs, and you have itemization. Now, let's ignore itemization for a second. Just for a second. Because obviously, yes, you can itemize. You can literally get the perfect like combination of stats on every piece of gear. That's huge. But let's ignore that for just a minute. Because theoretically speaking, you could itemize very early. Right? Theoretically. You know, you could have all the bits and bobs that are important to your build. You could have the heart. You could have the +4 mod on your gloves or +3 mod on amulet, etc. So let's ignore that for just a second. Essentially, your main source of power level is glyphs and Paragon. And the problem is they nerfed glyphs and Paragon. Like, a lot. Like, people don't know because they don't know. But a lot. And so it's my belief that you actually can easily lose power leveling up if you're not careful. Because they nerfed Paragon and glyphs so much. And this wasn't the case before because they were insane. Before, every single point of Paragon was impactful. Now it's not necessarily. Now you're not getting infinity damage. Like if you look at the difference between the press release builds and what we have now, they were doing much more damage with Paragon. It was much more damage. Now that we just don't. Now the level 80 press release builds are stronger than the level 100 builds we have, but the mobs leveled up. My crit glyph was giving me 51% multi, now 17%. Yeah, like, you literally, chat, you probably had more power at level 80 before the nerfs than you will ever at level 100. Surely this is a good change? Yes, it is a good change. But this is why I'm saying that people don't understand this is the point of the video. The point of the video is that at level 100, you're not going to necessarily feel like a Giga Chad. That's kind of my point. Like before, at level 100, you would level up and get stronger. Now, you literally will get weaker. You will. And that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. You're probably not going to have this problem for a long time. You'll probably see this problem happen in like 10, 20 days from now. But I think people will eventually be like, huh, this is kind of weird. It's not a problem. It's just like, I don't think it's as big of a problem as this does. But yeah, I do think it's a weird vibe. But my personal belief is the best way to solve this problem is to play a build that's powerful no matter what. And so I think naturally, this is what's going to happen. This system leads to metazization of builds because your builds will feel weaker unless they're already OP. And so I think you're going to want to be playing the best builds in the game at max level. And I think the Timmies of the world are not going to be super happy at endgame. I think they're going to hit max level and be like, this is kind of frustrating. Like, my build was actually okay at 70, and then it just kept losing power. That's my belief, anyway. Which one is Timmy? Timmy's the person that just wants to play the game and have fun. They don't necessarily need to play the best builds, although they're happy to play the good builds. You know, they just want to, like... If they want to play a Blood Necromancer, they want to play a Blood Necromancer. It doesn't matter if it's shit or good. Will Timmy's ever get to 100, though? Well, you'll have this problem before 100. In fact, funnily enough, the problem is actually really, it's the worst it's ever at is at level 95. But yeah, it's a good question. I don't know if people will get to 95. It's a good question. I guess we'll see.